What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Sword Art Online Alicization. This time, I got the right footage. Like, seriously, last week I was just playing Attack on Titan footage, and I didn't even realize, I'm like, wait, I should be playing SAO footage on top of SAO. But yeah, last week was fucking crazy, man. As we all know, last week, we saw another rape scene. Fun. Which apparently, if my memory serves correct, Chibi said in his review of that week's episode, that apparently is nothing compared to what happens later on. Oh dear God, what have you done, Reki Kawahara? But before we begin this review, I got the tweets up of the SAO wiki that translates those tweets that Reki Kawahara made during, when last week he was like giving up his reasoning on why he, used it. So I'm gonna quote them right here and just tell you guys and give you my quick 2 cents. By the way, I'm quoting them, but when they talk about rape, they say that plot element. I'm just gonna say rape because your boy ain't no bitch. I ain't scared of saying taboo words or words YouTube deems. No. I don't care. So anyway, Kawahara comments that the reason that YSCU uses rapes this frequently is because such a plot element was used in no small numbers in the light novels, romance, and adventure stories he had read in his mid-high school days. He gave some Japanese kanji as a typical example of that. Or I guess that might have been like a story he read. And the second one is, Kawahara also said that he's been able to escape that curse of rape and believes he currently manages to induce catharsis through other means. While he would write this scene if it was absolutely necessary for the story, he stated that for a different genre of books than light now. So in other words, if Reki Kawahara decided to be a novelist, he would use rape if he absolutely had to. So he also apologized to the Japanese voice actors for Roni and Tisei. Yeah, I would too. Like, if I was a movie director and I was directing that scene, I would feel like the biggest piece of shit. Like, after that whole scene is all dead over, I would feel like the biggest piece of shit, and I'd probably give those two girls a hug and probably said, like, what do y'all want for dinner? It's on me. Because, goddamn, I just feel like the biggest asshole. So, now, some of you might be wondering, like, what he says, the light novels, right? I think it's because when Reki Kawahara first started writing SAO, it wasn't when the light novels came out, here in physical form, back in Japan, here in the States. That was around 2011, 2012, around when the anime really started to get really started to power. The light novels probably got released a little bit before the anime did get finally did come out, but it was actually, if I remember correctly, now my knowledge of this is kind of shaky, so don't quote me on this, but apparently, if I remember correctly, Reki Kawahara got SAO back into some. He wrote SAO originally to feature it in some competition for new light novelists. That was back in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, if I remember correctly. He didn't win, but he tried to get with Excel World. That got traction, and then he went back to SEO. But I think he was writing SEO while he was also working on Excel World, like a digital version of SEO. When it was like how people write stories on Wattpad and stuff, something like that. I think is how it did, but a Japanese version of that. If I remember correctly, that is how that's what happened with Reki Kawahara. He wrote this story back the 90s, early 2005. I think it was when Excel World was originally written before before it got put in the light novels. That you can get at the store and such. I think that's what they're talking about, because back then I'm guessing everybody was a fan of Berserk, and it was people hate Griffith because he raped Casca. Let's use that. And I mean, he's not wrong about the catharsis, because when these villains do die, when they get their comeuppance in season 1 and here, you feel this great satisfaction, yes, when Kirito finally gives them their comeuppance. But at the same time, you kind of feel, because you kind of wish the journey wasn't so painful. You didn't have to go through a rape to get to the ending to that journey. As they say, it's about the journey, not so much the destination. Yeah. So that's my little 2 cents on that. So yeah. Anyway, so this week's episode. Really love this episode. I love this episode. I love the parts I loved especially when Kirito goes into his inner Ghost Rider with the chain. That was some cool shit. And yeah, so anyways, enough jibber jabber. Let's get to this week's episode. So we start this episode off. We got Kirito and Yuja. They're meeting up with Alice finally. Yuja's like, Alice, is that you? And he's reaching his hand out, about to touch her. And then Yuja, Alice be like, bitch! and like literally just hits him just with like her sword, still in like her scabbard and everything. So it just like just a nice little like 16 slap with her sword. He like sends him flying. Kirito's like Yaja. Alcibaba is like, if you next time you. I've watched what I'd say. Next time you touch me without permission, I'll cut your fucking hand off. And they're like, and Kirito's like, so that's the house you're looking for? Yep. Alright, let's see what she says. As long as we get in the Central Cathedral, we should be good. Even if it is as criminals. Alright, so, they're like, she's like, okay, follow me, after she says that, oh yeah, by the way, so after you are prisoned, interrogated, we're going to execute you. So, we then head over. So then we get to like where they're about to like get taken off by the dragon, and so then Roni and Tisei show up dragging their swords, which, like, as you know, those things are high level, so of course she can't really lift them. So they're literally just dragging them. They're dragging their swords against the dirt. I'm surprised they made the journey this long, because I'm sure those swords were heavy for them at least. Anyway. So they come over, so, they're like, Alice comes in there and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. She's like, oh yeah, we're like, can you please, like, let us return the swords to them? And Alice is like, alright, but I can't let criminals carry swords, so I'll take them. So she takes the sword, but she says, like, if you guys want to talk to them, I'll allow a minute. So, Roni and Tisei run over to, Yujo and Kirito. Roni, she's like, I'm sorry, Yujo, it's all my fault, yada, yada, yada. In all honesty, it was a pretty sad moment, because, the music, voice acting was great, they were also crying, and the music was also somber, too, so, even I was like, oh, I gotta feel bad for them. So, and then like, we got a bit of, like, history seems to be repeating itself here, where, Yujo, or not Yujo, Roni, it seems like, I am going to, like, work hard to become, like, become a knight, and, so, wait for me, like, she is legit becoming Yujo, as he was, like, Yujo was only, like, becoming a swordsman, a knight to get Alice. Now, Roni's gonna do that to save Yujo. History repeats itself, ladies and gentlemen. And so for Tisei, she's like, oh, here's your lunch, and then she, like, places it, like, they're tied behind their, like, they're pretty much just tied behind with their backs, with their arms behind their backs, and she literally just places the bag with his lunch just right there. It doesn't even look like Kirito gets much of a grip on the thing, but yet somehow the bag's still with them when they get to their prison, when they get to their, to the shell. It's still, the bag's still there. So how did Kirito manage to keep a good grip on that thing while he's up in the air with a dragon flying them? Found that guy, because it looked like he did not get much grip on that thing. Maybe he did, or maybe the bag, or maybe he managed to balance it right. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, they're taking on to the tower. They're taking up the tower. Alice is driving the dragon. They get inside. We're then actually head back to the real world, where we get like a nice little stuff with Kirito, with Asuna. So Asuna, like, sees Kirito, just sitting there inside the I forget what the thing's called. Inside the machine, inside the Matrix, essentially, because that's essentially what Alice is. What the underworld it is, the Matrix. Anyway, so they're in there. So he's in there. She's like, man, if only there was a way I could dive into the underworld and rescue you. Now if that isn't foreshadow, I don't know what. Now, granted, guys, I do not read the light novel, but let's be honest, Austin's gonna find some way to get in the underworld, and she's gonna save Kirito. Now, and I also kind of know it's gonna happen because I've seen some of the light novel covers for some of the later volumes of this are, and it looks like Austin does get inside Alicization, or the underworld, I should say, and helps out Kirito. So, but let's be honest, we all knew Austin's gonna get in there eventually. Come on, I mean, it's Austin. So since she's like, she kind of walks upstairs back to like the main like room where the monitor is, where they have Alice, where they have the underworld playing, everything. So Austin makes his way upstairs, and then there is this robot, a legit robot, makes its way downstairs, and then Austin kind of like meet up. Him and Austin, the robot and Austin kind of like meets her. She's like, oh, excuse me, and moves out of the way and goes over, and then she's like, wait a minute, was that a robot? And then the robot turns around and stares her down in the face, and then it's just then Austin's like, oh shit, and kind of like moves away, but the robot still keeps following her. So I was like, oh shit, you must have pissed it off. I thought I was gonna go Terminator on her for a second there. So then he shows up, he's like, hey, Ichiman, what do you think you're doing, man? And he's like, Ichimon? And I was like, Ichimon? Oh, yeah, he's a robot we're building. His name is Ichimon because, Emon is like his whole name's, when it's like the anagram for his name, that's what it is. And Ichi is like one in Japanese, so Ichimon! Okay? And so then Rinko shows up being like, oh yeah, I'm helping him build the thing. I'm helping him fix it up, fixing like the programming of it. And even though we're not, so they make their way up, and some of them we get a bunch of techno babble being, and while Rinko and Higa are talking like, oh, why aren't you using these? These are so last generation. Why aren't you using this? Yada 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 yada. And so we found that they're actually also building a second robot for this, and we also know that they're pretty much pretty much building these robots to they're just building robots, and that they're also, this is all helping with the fleshlight things. The flunk lights, I believe, flunk lights they're called. They're helping them out with that. These are if I remember correctly, they're using these to where the fleshlights will inhabit their bodies, and they're like, we don't even know how serious he is, but whatever. So they're building these, like I said, they're building these to where they'll inhabit in fleshlights or flunk lights, I should say. So in other words, they are making Terminators. We are 2 seconds away from Skynet in this universe. Like, seriously, they're all going to put AIs that are borderline humans. How long before we put them in? How long before we reach T600? Because now, granted, these robots look like they're robots that were made like the 70s in terms of just design. They look like 70s, 60s robots, like classic robots. But how long before they look like T600s? And then how long before we put flesh on them? And how long before they look just like humans? And how long before they start looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And we got the T-1000, and we got time travel and shit. Anyway, so they also have a second one that's still in development, which is like apparently works a lot better, but it can't walk. And she also talks about how humans, we can like naturally balance ourselves, but AIs can't really do. They often might just balloon themselves, whatever the hell that means. Like I said, I ain't no tech genius. And so with having their flesh, that'll make sure all the automatic balancing they already have to do. We humans have these fleshlights can do on their own without the AIs going crazy. And so they're like, oh, and then she asks, hey, are you, by chance, are you going to go catch breakfast? And she's like, oh yeah, well, why don't we go together? So they leave. Also takes one more look at the monitor, seeing seeing Underworld before they leave. And my God, A1, you're not even trying to be subtle about this. So then we see these two stunts. So Austin and Rinko, they're making their way, across the hallway. But then these two other scientists come in. So Austin moves out of the way to give them their room. But my God, the music and how the dude looks like, we see one of the guys that has like long gray hair, kind of like smile a little bit. And my God, A1, are you not even trying to be so like? I'm assuming this guy's gonna be like the villain for like the humans, or maybe this is gonna be like the main villain for the whole arc, or B, he's gonna be a villain that may try to take over the building, and Austin finds a way to stop him. I almost for a second I almost thought it was Zuko for a second, because it was like it almost kind of looked like him a little bit, but I don't think it is, because that man's like rotting away in prison, unless the man found some way to break out and he's working here. I wouldn't put past him. I wouldn't put past Ricky Kawahara to bring back Zuko. So maybe we'll see his return, but I don't know. I just know this dude is bad news, because my God, was the anime not even trying to be subtle about it. No siree. And so from there, we head back into back into the underworld, back with our people Kirito and Yujo. They're chilling in their cells and just reflecting. And so, like I said, Kirito's bag, with his lunch, everything is like right next to him. How this man managed to keep a decent grip on that thing to make sure it didn't fall out, or the contents inside it didn't fall out, is beyond me. It is a marvel how Kirito managed to keep a good, decent grip on that thing. But whatever the case may be, they're just chilling around their cells, just reflecting their actions, and Kirito said to Yujo, hey man, you doing good over there? He's like, yeah. And so before they decide, they're like, we need to find some way to break out. After Yujo reminds them about the time when, after 2 years ago, when Kirito went to save, when Kirito was saving Yujo along with Alice's sister. When that girl showed up and Yujo, Kirito, I'm waiting for you in the central cathedral. I'll be at the top there. Go find me. They're like, yeah, right. And actually, right before that, Kirito asks Yujo, hey man, so the Alice we met that's a knight is the same Alice you've been looking for, right? He's like, yes, same face, same eye, same dark, deep blue eyes, same blonde hair. It is her. I would know. That is indeed her. Okay? Well, she clearly, for a childhood friend, she clearly didn't hold back when she beat your ass over there. when she clubbed him with that sword. Seriously, she was like, boing! Oh my God, no chill right there. No chill. Anyway. Okay, so, and it says that, because of that, So because she is now a knight now, and we know that, but like so could that mean that her memories have been that she has now lost memory, or that her memories have actually been altered or messed around with anyway? He says I haven't seen those in any of the textbooks, but we know that these priests can pretty much manipulate life, right? So who says that they can't control memory? So that's probably indeed what happened. I even said this before in some of my earlier reviews. Is that most likely like Kirito can't remember doesn't really okay now he doesn't remember Yujo and Alice, but before why he couldn't remember it earlier, or why Yujo doesn't remember Kirito from their childhood, none of that. It's mostly because their memories have been altered, most likely have been altered since that day. That is what I'm assuming has happened. So it looks like it's 57 now where her memories have been altered or changed or something where she does not remember Yujo. That's where I'm going. That's what I assume is. So anyway, so Kirito's like, wait, let me try something. Like they tried, have you tried our status menus? Have they popped up? You haven't touched it. So they tried it. So they open up their status menus and they work and they're like, oh, one of the things can't budge. It's like level 38. Wait, and then Kirito gets the bright idea. Wait, yours is level 38. Mine is level 38. Let's break these chains, brother. Alright, Zeus was like, oh, great. and I gotta say, the guard that they got here is one hell of a heavy sleeper, because my god, this man does not wake up from anything. Okay, so first off, we got Yujo and Kirito, having their canes, having their chains, collide with each other so that they can break. They wrap them in together and then just pull on tightly to put them against each other and make them break. So they do one time, bang, it chops his health down by half or something. Kirito's like, yeah, let's go. And he was like, shh, dude, keep your voice down. The guard will wake up. And they're like, okay. The guard thankfully stays asleep. And they're like, ready, set, bam, the chains break. They're both sent flying into their walls. The guard still does not wake up. How could he not hear that is anomaly to me? He's like, and I like the music. Oh man, that took at least 100 off my life, which I'm assuming that in reality that means he had it, that gave him a concussion or something, probably. So anyway, so they get up. They're like, small price to pay, man. We can go. Let's keep going. So they got their chains up, and right before Kirito, makes a break for it, and then they finally break out, and they finally, finally break out their cells and make it to the tower. Kirito's like, look, man, I'm gonna do it one more time. Are you ready for this? Because since now we are directly defying the church. Because of that, we cannot sit here and debate our choices every single time we have to make a difficult choice, man. If you're not willing to do that, it's better off you just stay here. He's like, and Yujo says, man, I'm good, I'm ready, let's go. It's like as Kirito said, sometimes you have to do shit, even if it's against the law. So they're like, alright. So Kirito goes into his inner ghost rat, grabs the chain, hits it against the door falls to the ground, and the dude still doesn't wake up. How the hell did this dude not hear that? Like that, keep in mind, it's like Kirito grab the door and he slowly put it down to the floor to make sure it doesn't make too much of a noise. No, the thing just fell to the floor, made a bunch of noise, and it didn't wake him up. How did this man not wake up from that? If I heard something like that, I'd probably wake up and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? But this dude's like, the man doesn't wake up. That man's one heavy sleeper. Anyway, so they then wrap the chains around their arms. It kind of reminded me of when of Delson Rowe from Infamous Second Son. And they make their way after checking to make sure the guard's still sleeping, which by some miraculous miracle, he still is. Is he under some sleeping spell or something? How the hell does this man sleep through all this? Somebody please explain to me this. This man is the heaviest sleeper I have ever seen. Anyway, so they make it out of the way. They climb up there and they get to where they can see towers. And right before they start to they see this opening to leads them right to the tower. They're like, look around, and Yujo's like, hey Kirito, are these roses? Yes, they are in the middle of a breakout. It's prison break up in here, and Yujo's Mokus is concerned about the fact that roses are growing here rather than making sure he doesn't get caught and making his escape. And Kirito's like, holy shit, you're right, those are roses. What are they doing growing out here? Yes, these guys are more preoccupied with flowers, seeing flowers grow, than making their escape. I'm like, are y'all trying to get caught? Stop, you can focus about the flowers later. You make your escape, brothers. Anyway, And so they're talking about, and they're also showing off about how, they talk about how, since their memories could have been altered, if Alice maybe returns, or like, see what's over the top of top of the tower, because like I said, that's where Alice, her, or at least some version of Alice told Kirito, meet me there, I'll be there waiting for you. She'll probably get her memories, and she also said that, even if the priest can alter Knight's minds to make them, I guess, more obey up, so that they can take orders better, or whatever the case may be, maybe make them forget their parents or hometowns. Yuzo says that if they go back to their hometown, they'll probably know immediately that whatever memories have been planted in them are indeed a lie. And Yuzo's like, and then Yuzo looks at Kirito for a second, and Kirito's like, what? And then he realizes what Yuzo is talking about, because Yuzo thinks that Kirito's going to leave him if Kirito gains back his memory. Even after Kirito said, look man, I'm staying with you, I'm ride or die over here. I ain't leaving you until this is over. And then he starts blushing, and oh my god, I could hear the Yaoi fangirls losing their shit right now at seeing this. They're probably like, oh my god, I shipped them so hard! Like, you guys know I don't like shit. I do not like Yaoi shippers, because usually most of the time they make 0 sense in terms of in terms of the story. I don't get why people. You guys already know that. I'm not a fan of Yaoi shippers, because usually when they make their ships, they make no damn sense. Anyway. So, Kirito's like, oh man, come on man, don't worry, I'll be just here, don't worry, I'm not leaving you till this is all over, man. It's like, okay, I know, I'm not dissing, I'm not saying your word isn't right, isn't true, and so they made their way into this is when I knew something was gonna happen, because the fact that there's this huge opening, no guards there, I'm like, this is too easy. And so then we got this guard, he's sitting there drinking his wine, which at first I thought this was Humbert. He had come back, they promoted him or something, and then, he was going to they got promoted, and he was going to work here. It's not Humbert, but at first I thought it was because, he has the gray hair, he's drinking wine. I thought it was Humbert for a second, and the fact that he's waiting for Kirito. And then he says, my mentor said that very unlikely you guys would plan an escape, so I had to spend the night here. Oh, I was very skeptical that you guys would actually have the balls to do it, but no, here you guys are in the flesh, about to escape. Alright. Well, obviously I'm going to put you guys back in your underground prison, but I gotta unleash some punishment before I do that. You guys don't mind, right? And Kirito's like, and I love Kirito, the man goes into his inner Spider-Man right here with some quips. He says, alright, but don't expect us to take that punishment without a fight. And then and then a sudden gust of wind pops up, throwing the rose petals in different directions. He's like, because of your bravado, I will tell you guys. It is like, I think his name was like Eldarine Synthesis 31, and he's also a knight too. And Yuzo's like completely under shock by this. Kirito's like, shit, but he's ready for a fight. He's ready to duel with this guy. And he's like, so I'm just a novice, so hopefully you can forgive that, Kirito. And then that's when the episode ends. So, overall, I love this episode. I love this stuff. I'm definitely curious, with the whole memory wiping thing, or memory alteration. I'm definitely curious that is. The stuff with the Austin was pretty cool, seeing the robot shit. Looks like we got, they're always setting up the next villain. But goddamn it, could you have been a little bit more subtle with that? Did you have to be, I'm surprised that you wasn't just having a sign that says, I am the next villain. Like the man with, hey, you weren't even trying to be subtle there. And the stuff, and Kirito going to his inner Ghost Rider with the chain, that was pretty cool, all that. That god sleeps like a rock. Anyway, so overall I give this episode a 9 out of 10, so hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.